My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. And to read my writings, to see my latest CNN appearances, and my MSNBC appearances, you can go to hagoodman.com. In this segment, I'm going to discuss two major issues. The first being that Bernie Sanders destroys Donald Trump in a general election. He doesn't have an FBI criminal investigation regarding emails. He has positive favorability ratings. He has the best favorability ratings in 2016, and I explained that in my latest MSNBC appearance. And he has so many advantages over Trump and Clinton. He beats Donald Trump. He destroys Donald Trump in a general election for a number of reasons. Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, loses to Donald Trump, and I'll explain why. The second big issue is that there are quote-unquote progressive writers who, in their condescending manner, want Bernie Sanders to drop out of the race. Well, it's not going to happen for a number of reasons. But these are the same people who said that Bernie would never be here. The same people who said that Bernie Sanders would be done by February, or he'd be kicked out of the Democratic primary in March, and then in April, and he's still here, and he forced a contested convention. These people never imagined Bernie Sanders being here now, and now they're saying that he should drop out. The same people who told you it would never happen are now saying that he should not be here. So don't listen to them. Bernie Sanders isn't going anywhere. He's fighting until the contested convention. He will win, and I will explain. But the notion that he should drop out before the FBI even discloses its findings, before America knows whether or not Hillary Clinton will receive Espionage Act indictments or recommendation for indictments by the FBI, is ridiculous. Why on earth should Bernie Sanders drop out, even if you think that I'm nuts for believing that Clinton will receive indictments? We need to know, Democratic Party, establishment Democrats, fake, phony progressive writers who would rather have a person with a neocon foreign policy advised by Henry Kissinger and Bush's neocons, and that will happen, who can't even disclose the contents of a speech for fear of a progressive backlash, who can't even use a state.gov email because obviously she's hiding something. It's not convenience. That's another lie. And a person who's known for lying. So they'd rather have this type of person than Bernie Sanders, who's an honest progressive, who wants free public college tuition. They think that's completely irrational, but they have no problem paying the $7 billion that we've spent in 2 years fighting ISIS. You never hear them talking about that. But the issue is this. I'll get to it. Number one, Hillary Clinton only beats Donald Trump, the Antichrist, by 3.1 points in an average of polls. It was 3.9 points the other day. Her polling against Trump dwindles daily. She only beats Trump by 3.1 points. Trump defeats her in 2 polls. Clinton is only up by 2 points in another poll. This 3.1 points could be Trump defeating Clinton in a couple of weeks on average in polls. Bernie Sanders destroys Donald Trump by 11.6 points. It was 13 points a couple weeks ago, but it stayed in double digits for months. It's been in double digits since last year. And it has nothing to do with being vetted. If anything, Hillary Clinton hasn't been vetted regarding the email scandal. Nobody knows a thing about it because they think it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. And we've yet to learn what the FBI knows. So why should Bernie Sanders leave the race when Clinton could face indictment and she already barely beats Donald Trump and Bernie destroys Trump? The second thing is this. The notion that Hillary Clinton would be weakened by Bernie Sanders continuing to campaign. You can't weaken an already weak candidate. Hillary Clinton is probably the worst candidate you could ever imagine. There's an ongoing FBI criminal investigation, not security review. Not security review, Hillary people. Not security review. Criminal investigation. James Comey just said that. The FBI investigates crimes. They don't investigate procedural issues pertaining to State Department procedures. And the issue of the private server, Clinton was the most powerful person at the State Department. Who was going to say that she couldn't have a private server? And, this is odd, the person who was granted immunity, Brian Pagliano, granted immunity, so you don't think indictments are going to hit. He was granted immunity. His emails for 4 years are missing. And so were the 31,830 emails that Clinton deleted. Because of yoga. They were all about yoga. So that's a lie. The convenience excuse is a lie. She obviously had something to hide. And there was a political motive associated with political utility, which is why there was intent. But even if I'm wrong on that, gross negligence is enough to prosecute under the Espionage Act. So why? It's already a weak candidate. You think that the Republicans don't know everything about this email scandal, and you don't think that they'll continue to talk about Benghazi, and they'll continue to talk about every other controversy associated with both Clintons. So the notion that Bernie Sanders should leave because he's weakening Hillary Clinton is ludicrous. It's ridiculous. The next thing is this. 55.6% of Americans have an unfavorable view of Hillary Clinton. She has negative favorability ratings in every single national poll. In every single national poll, the majority of Americans find Clinton not honest and trustworthy. Bernie Sanders has positive favorability ratings. More people like and admire Bernie Sanders than dislike him, and more Americans trust him than distrust him. He is the only candidate in 2016 with positive favorability ratings. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump rival one another in these negative favorability ratings. But the difference is that Trump isn't undergoing an FBI criminal investigation. And it is a criminal investigation. How do we know this? Because the FBI only investigates crimes. They don't investigate whether procedures were abided by in the State Department. That ties into the next issue, which is the FBI investigation. Hillary Clinton stated today that Donald Trump is not qualified to be president. Now, I actually agree with that. But he's not at risk of indictments. And even if you think I'm wrong, and even if you think I'm nuts, we don't know yet if Hillary Clinton will get indicted. We don't know if the FBI is going to recommend indictments. So if you're watching this progressive writer or Hillary supporter who think I'm crazy, do you know? No, you don't know. You think that Clinton is untouchable. You think that Hillary Clinton is more powerful than the FBI, or that she didn't do anything wrong with an email server circumventing U.S. government networks that contain 22 top secret emails, and also information, state secrets from the country's special access program that only a handful of people in the U.S. government have access to see, clearance to see. But we don't know. We don't know yet. Why would Bernie drop out if we don't know whether or not Clinton is at risk of jail time? She would never drop out if the tables were turned. The next issue I touched upon, the media said it wouldn't happen. All the same people stating that Bernie Sanders wouldn't be here are now saying he should leave, that he should drop out, that he can't win, because it's about delegate count. I'm going to explain right now what Hillary Clinton stated in 2008 against Barack Obama. She had the audacity to bring up Bobby Kennedy's assassination. So RFK's assassination, and I'll put the link below, the New York Times 2008 New York Times link. An article in the New York Times from 2008, Clinton remark on Kennedy's killing stirs uproar. Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton defended staying in the Democratic nominating contest on Friday by pointing out that her husband had not wrapped up the nomination until June 1992, adding, quote, and this is Clinton, "We all remember Bobby Kennedy was assassinated in June in California." Okay. So Hillary Clinton has the audacity in 2008 to bring up the assassination of RFK. And Bernie should drop out now? Because we don't even know yet what the FBI has disclosed? And he beats Trump by a wider margin and he should drop out? But Clinton actually brought up the assassination of RFK. And by the way, it was within the context of running against our first African-American president. So this is another issue. I remember thinking, what on earth is she talking about? Because at that point, a great many people were saying, this is an historic time and we want Barack Obama to be president. But what if, God forbid, there's some crazy person out there who wants to do something crazy? And she brings up RFK's assassination in 2008. Of course, she apologized about that, like she apologizes and regrets everything she does. She regretted and apologized for the Iraq vote. Then she apologized and regretted for using the phrase super predators when talking about black youth in the 90s. And Ashley Williams, who was a very courageous woman, protested that, protested Hillary Clinton in one of her events. Protested the fact that Clinton used the phrase super predator. Clinton also apologized about the private server and a Facebook apology. She's apologizing and regretting everything. She regretted also stating that she remembers very clearly surviving Bosnian sniper fire. Video evidence shows no sniper fire, and she was greeted by children. So she's regretted and apologized for so many things, but her supporters don't care at all. The next couple of issues, Bernie Sanders voters will not vote for Hillary Clinton. 33% of Bernie voters won't vote for Clinton. That number has to be 40%. I mean, I urge you to write down your thoughts below in the comment section. I'm very, very fortunate to have extremely intelligent people watching these segments. I very much enjoy reading your comments and your views. So I'm really lucky that I have people, watching these segments who are extremely knowledgeable and very aware of what's going on. I'm very fortunate to have you guys listening. So in the comment section, tell me what you think. The Wall Street Journal poll says 33% of Bernie voters won't vote for Hillary Clinton. Do you think it's higher? Because I do. I think it's like around 40. It has to be around 40% now. Probably over that. And I'm writing in Bernie if Hillary Clinton gets the nomination, but I firmly believe that Bernie Sanders will get the nomination for a number of reasons, including the FBI. The last couple of issues tie into the fact that there's a media blitz and there's a media frenzy now regarding Bernie dropping out. And this is all by design. These are the same people who were wrong. And now they're trying to backtrack and backpedal and say, well, you know what? We might have been wrong, but now we're right and he needs to drop out. I'm going to say this. If you're a Bernie Sanders supporter and you drop out now, you are never a Bernie Sanders supporter, ever. Bernie Sanders and this movement need you to battle peacefully. I'm saying all of this in a peaceful sense. To battle and to fight peacefully for this movement and for Bernie Sanders and for him to get elected as our 45th president. If you think right now that Hillary Clinton has the nomination, remember that the FBI has not disclosed the findings of its year-long investigation. It's still ongoing. This candidate, Hillary Clinton, should not even be running. There's an FBI criminal investigation where she is the subject because she had the private server and she wrote the emails and she stored the 22 top secret emails with SAP state secrets on those emails. In addition to the fact that we beat Donald Trump by 11 points and Clinton barely beats Trump. So what? 11.6 points. She barely beats Trump by 3.1 points in an average of polls. Why would Bernie drop out? So if you're a Bernie Sanders supporter, stay strong, stay confident, stay passionate. You have to. If you ever hear from anyone, there are these lame progressive writers who are saying that, well, you know, he did a good thing and he pushed Clinton to the left, as if Clinton would ever abide by anything she says. She'll go right back to the right if she ever had the White House and the power to just disregard everything she stated. But Bernie Sanders needs you. This movement needs you. And you would be doing a disservice to the future and to yourselves if you ever gave up. So this is the time. This is the first inning of the ball game. So ball game ain't over, and it's the first inning. So keep fighting. Stay passionate. Don't believe the media hype. Do not, because these are the same people who have been wrong the entire Democratic primary. Bernie Sanders is going to win, folks. He is going to win. Just trust me on that. So stay strong, and thank you so much for listening. I'm only voting for Bernie Sanders in 2016. Millions of people are only voting for Bernie Sanders. And if you are a Bernie Sanders supporter, this is the time. This is the time to win. It's not the time to give up. This is the first inning of a long ball game. Thank you so much for listening.